Peace, peace, everybody. Peace, peace. What it do? What it do? This your girl Mojo back with another video tarot reading. This time it's just going to be a general quick read for the collective. This is timeless. So no matter when you see this message, if it applies to you, it applies to you. You're going to have to excuse my nails because I did do them, but it's been like a week and a half already, and some of them have popped off. I'm changing the color. It's just a lot going on, but just work with me. Cleansing the energy. This is not a pick a card. To remind you, this is not a pick a card. Just gonna get my Apollo smoke going. I did not like the amount of smoke. I want more smoke. I'm a Libra. What can I say? I'm a little bit dramatic. Yes. Okay. Yes. There we go. That's the bird I'm looking for. Okay. So let's hop into this collective reading. The deck I'm using is the Mystical Oracle Shaman deck. It's by several people. Let me just show you the box here. Mystical Oracle Shaman deck. Albert Villoldo, Colette Baron Reed. She makes some really pretty stuff. And Marcela Lobos is actually illustrated by Jenna Della Grottaglia. There we go. 3 cards. Let's get into it. First card we have is the Serpent. Second card we have is the Lower World. And the third card we have is Thunder. Okay, so basically, collectively, if you're seeing this, then this is a message for you to get back into your body. You can do this in a number of ways, and the purpose ultimately is for connecting to this inner wisdom. You may probably be in a situation where you're feeling like you don't have access to your power, you don't have access to knowledge, you're kind of cut off from everything. But the truth of the matter is this wisdom, this innate knowing is never far from you. It in fact is always with you. It's always accessible. It's more so your perception of everything that makes you feel like you're actually cut off. We do things like grounding. We do that regularly. We do things where we can connect to our higher self regularly as a way of maintenance. But the truth of the matter is you are never disconnected from a state of grounding. You are never disconnected from a state of knowing. It's your perception and where your mind goes about whatever it is that you're going through that makes you think you aren't connected. Furthermore, however you feel about wherever your mind goes, whatever you think about your situation will also have you act as if you aren't connected. But the truth of the matter is, no matter what situation you're in, no matter what state you're in, whether you are full, I've just eaten and I'm full and I'm stuffed and I'm happy, or you're starving, you can't wait to eat, no matter what situation, state you find yourself in, you're always able to access this knowledge, this wisdom. You don't have to act as if you aren't, because it's simply not true. The number on this card is 46, which breaks down to 10. So we're looking at personal power. If you want to break 10 down even further, that's number 1, which in the tarot deck is the Magician's card. So this is about using the resources that you have to push your intention into being, to, sink your intuition into the fertile firmament, which then gives back the intention with even more than what you initially put into it. Because that's what happens, right? People get together, right, and they make babies, and it's these two materials, this sperm and this egg. But when they come together 9 months later, it's something even more than what initially was put into it. Now you have an entire person. You have a whole new person with feelings and ideas and thoughts. And so, when you take that personal power and you utilize the resources that you have, then the universe, or whatever you want to call it, God, if you're religious, doesn't really matter. The universe takes that back and, or not takes it back, but they take it. It takes it. It takes the raw materials and it gives you something back for your effort that is much more than perhaps you even thought or dreamed. Now, the thing about this is about inner wisdom. So, you can connect to this by connecting to your body, doing ancestral work, because that is a anchor for you. It is your foundation. And it's not saying that, you have to lead this extremely healthy life. You can't ever eat a piece of fried chicken. You can't eat candy. You can't smoke. No. I'm not here to tell you what you can and can't do. Okay. But what I'm going to say is, as you do the things that you're doing, pay attention to your body. Where are your feelings stored for a particular action or a particular incident? Let's say you're angry or you're having a hard day. Do you notice that those feelings sit in a particular place in your body? Because you can spend time focusing on that. How does it feel? A phrase I actually came across today. I don't know what was I looking at? Was I watching somebody? I don't know. Maybe I was watching somebody talk about something. I don't know if it was fiction or an actual show. It'll probably come to me after I've done the video, of course. But basically, they said, let it all in. Oh, I remember now. I was watching Coven again. American Horror Story Coven. This was the scene where Fiona comes back to Cordelia now that she's ascended to the status of Supreme, and Fiona's basically at death's door, and she's hoping that Cordelia kills her, mercifully. But Cordelia says, no, baby, you got to go through this on your own, honey. Now, what you need to do is just feel all that. Feel it. That was her advice to her. I know you're afraid. I know you're unsure. I know you may be angry. I know you may be sad. I know you may be repentant, whatever the case may be. Feel it. Feel all of that. Just let it all come in. There's no point in you trying to stave that off, trying to push it away, because that is not how you're going to get rid of it. It ultimately, what this process does is helps you accept it, helps you learn to live with it so that you can eventually move on from it. Because that's the next step. After you let it all in, then you let it all go. And I'm not saying that as if it's simple or even designed to be easy. When you're dealing with confronting uncomfortable feelings, perhaps situations that have made you feel like your power was blocked off. You know what I mean? All type of things can happen. We suffer abuse as children. We get with people that are terrible mates for us. We have people that are jealous, people that are vindictive, and, even the world itself, just with all of its trends and quote unquote things that are acceptable. When you feel like, you are on the outside of that, like you can't come into this unspoken club of what is cool and what isn't, that has a way of making you feel disconnected from what actually makes you, what actually is your source of power, your uniqueness, to give it another term. And so you have to sometimes have a journey to the lower world where that part of you has gone to hide. Um, Sometimes this is actually the process of a shamanic journey, which you can do on your own, or if you find somebody who is offering these services, which I will say about this, there's no shortage of people offering services on the internet. Just be careful, do your research, follow your intuition, because not everybody out here is out here to help you. Some people, unfortunately, are out here to help themselves. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about people who just charge for their services. I feel like I'm personally of the opinion that fair exchange is no robbery. If I, as a practitioner, have done some work for you, then by all means, please pay me, because I had to use my resources. You know, whether it's candles or stones, or I made a sigil, or I did a spell for you. That was my time. That was my energy. I spent money on the things that I used, you know, whatever I put into it. By all means, compensate me, because, you know, it's just fair exchange. But that all being said, like I said, some people are not out here with your best interests at heart. So you have to, you know, think about that when you're trying to, for example, have somebody journey to the lower world for you. Now, what is the lower world? You could say that it is another dimension of existence. Some people call this the shadow world. This could also be called your subconscious, or the collective subconscious. From a very shamanistic point of view, the worlds are divided into 3 realms. You have the lower world, where spirits, or darker spirits are said to inhabit. Then you have the middle realm, where people, you know, where this life is, where I'm filming this video from. And then you have the upper world, which is the higher spiritual realm. So, you know, things like angels, spirit guides, etc., etc. And so a shaman is somebody who can travel freely between the realms, you know, to accomplish whatever tasks. I want to say back in the olden days, like I don't know what olden is, you know, I know that's just a really long time ago, but back in the olden days, things were a little different, you know, a lot different, actually. And so the process of becoming a shaman was a lot different than what happens now, you know, in mainstream society. Perhaps it's, you know, still the same in societies that have retained their original culture, as opposed to having been westernized, like pretty much the whole world. But back in those times, usually what would happen is something catastrophic. You know, either the shaman would suffer an illness or an injury that would pretty much take them out. Like, okay, I'm at death's door, I have died. Or, you know, got really, really close. And so once this person recovered from that, then, you know, they were pretty much said to have been initiated into shamanism, into being a shaman, because crossing the realms like that, descending from the middle realm to the lower realm, you know, through the painful experience, somehow granted them access, power, and knowledge, which then they could use to assist themselves and others. Now, in today's world, you know what I'm saying? We have modern medicine. We have doctors. You can even get a psychiatric appointment over the internet. So it's a lot of things that aren't taking us out as quickly as they would have in the past, where this sort of, philosophy or perspective was prevalent. Now, personally, I'm of the opinion that we go through things that emotionally kill us. I'm definitely very, very sure that I had a shamanic experience, like probably a lot of people, around 2012, right when that year kicked off. Things got completely hectic and completely insane, and perhaps I'll talk about this in another video, but I feel like it killed me. Like, I was literally dead inside. I did not know, what my next turn was going to be. I didn't feel suicidal, like I wanted to end my life or anything, but it was real touch and go there for me for a minute. Like, I really didn't even see the point of continuing, just because of what had happened to me was so destructive to my existing way of life. I mean, it completely changed and challenged everything I thought was sure and everything I thought I knew. And so, having survived that, I feel like I have been imbued with the knowledge and wisdom of what that means. And it's not to say that I'm like offering my services as a shaman. I mean, I'm not really, I've never actually done that for other people. I've done this for myself quite a few times, and I'm suspecting that I will have to do it over the course of my lifetime as I uncover layer upon layer of things that just need to be discovered and gotten reacquainted with. But the whole point is, as you reconnect to this wisdom, as you get in touch with yourself through your body, through your ancestral work, you may find that there are blockages, that there are thought patterns or ideas that you have had for time out of mind that need to be dealt with. The number here is 31, and that breaks down to a 4. So we're talking about the foundation. We're talking about something that manifests as a tangible, or rather sensible result. Something that you can see, something that you can hear, touch, feel, taste, or smell. Something that you can just know with your senses. And that may require, that you have to face down some of these demons, that you have to encounter these dark places where you haven't been in a really long time. And I know maybe that's scary. I definitely understand. But the other thing is, on the end of that, as the result of that journey, what you stand to gain is far greater than whatever fear you have that may prevent you from doing that. This other card here is Thunder. The number here is 56, which breaks down to 11, which, as we know, is one of those master numbers. Depending on what tarot deck you're looking at, that's either the Strength card or the Justice card. In most decks I have, it's Justice. But I think is it my Thoth deck? I think it's the Strength card. In either case, this is about alignment. This is about coming into contact with your powers. Actually, the number that's directly after this one. So you have 10 here and 11 here, which is to say this is the next step in the process. Getting in touch with this power, with this knowledge, with this wisdom, puts you in a position to actualize it, to realize it, to use it. What happens when it thunders? You hear that everywhere. You can feel it. If it's strong enough, it may knock some of your things down. And not say you should develop this power just so you can tear up people's stuff. No, that's not what I'm saying. But to be able to actually put the power into use to, enter the game, so to speak, you have to get ready. You have to get your equipment on. You have to get your artillery, you have to get your armory, you have to get your stuff so that you can actually go out there and play. And if you don't have it, then you won't be playing. It's just as simple as that. How many times have you gone to play a video game or get on your computer only to find out that your controller isn't charged or that the battery in your wireless mouse is dead? Like, you got the stuff, but you don't have everything. And I feel like for a lot of you that are watching, you are just at the brink of crossing over to this point. 2020 has been a motherfucker. Let's just say that it has absolutely, undoubtedly been a whole bunch of motherfuckers. Like, wow, okay, push me to the limits, get my feelings in it. Like, what is going on? But I can say for sure for me, which tells me that it's not just me, because I'm just one person in a world full of billions. So I know somebody else is having this experience, where you're ultimately being called to tap in. There's more in store than what meets the eye, to use a couple of cliches all at once. There's more waiting for you besides just staying in that pain, staying in that disconnected state. And furthermore, you have help for this. You have yourself, number one. You have your entire body, whose only concern, whose only joy is really you. Then you have your ancestors who come to you through the space of time, through your DNA. Beside that, you have spiritual ancestors who are all on your side, who are all freaking rooting for you to do the thing, whatever that is, whatever you have come here to do. And so it's not that you don't have help. You do have help. You absolutely have it. And, again, you may have to go through some pretty dark, scary places. I would say my suggestion is pack light. If you can, take a friend or at least a guide. You can do that with, I don't know, if you're part of a coven mate. If you're a solitary practitioner, then go by yourself. You have spirit guides and ancestors who are willing to help and lead and understand, whatever questions you may have. Understand, really, this isn't a foreign landscape. You may not understand this with your conscious mind, but spiritually, you've already been all up and through these places. So it's really nothing to be afraid of, even though it can be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Where's the danger at? Well, if you're already a mentally unstable person, and this is no offense to anybody, I'm just saying all of this so you can be aware. If you're like dealing with any sort of mental illness, schizophrenia, what is the other thing? Dissociative identity disorder, is that what that stands for? Then I would be careful with that, because with doing these sorts of things, because you may have a tendency to see or experience much more than other people. I won't even say normal people, because what is normal, really? There's no such thing as normal to me. But I feel like your experiences could be a little more wild, and you may be prone to going a little more mad in response to the situations if you're not careful. I would say probably don't attempt it by yourself unless you're comfortable with navigating that realm. Like when you do shrooms or acid, it's probably better if you have somebody there to help you and watch out for you, just because of, again, the likelihood that things could go awry. And honestly, that could happen to anybody. The further in you go, so to speak, I guess you have a tendency or a possibility with anybody to kind of get lost mentally into the situation. So it's always good to have a lifeline or a life preserver that you can grab onto. Just making sure this is recording, because you know this is Mercury retrograde. This is why I done lost 2 of my nails. I'm like, have I been talking this whole time and this shit haven't been recording? I'm gonna cry. Okay, but that's not what's happened. So great. Let me take a drink of water because I have been talking and I'm thirsty. Pardon me, folks. Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff right there. Okay. So, yeah. And then, okay, here's the thing. With these particular cards, the reversals and the uprights have particular meanings. With the reverse cards, with the reverse cards, they are considered to be medicine, as opposed to the upright cards, which are invitations. And so I'm giving you my interpretation of these cards, but I'm also going to look at the guidebook, because they have, their own information, wisdom put in there. And I'll let you know right now, as soon as I find the page. Okay, so we have the serpent. The essence of this card. The serpent is the life force of Mother Earth. The coiled serpent of the Kundalini brings passion, healing, and renewal. She offers us the fruit of the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden and reminds us to shed the past the way she sheds her tired old skin. Serpent comes to offer you the forbidden fruit that will set your passion and creativity free. Again, so we're talking about letting stuff go, packing light, getting rid of that fucking baggage so you can move the hell on already. Okay, and it's upside down. So the medicine is, when you shed the past gracefully, life will not strip it away with great drama. Indeed, that is something you want to avoid. Do not use your energies to seduce others or allow yourself to be seduced, even by your own ideas. And ultimately, what I think that is getting at is the fact that, the power of wisdom, of knowledge, of awareness is something that is trying to awaken in you, asking you to embrace the mystery of it. But it's like you need to do that without being not necessarily dramatic, but allowing that fresh experience to happen versus trying to make it something that it isn't. Your passion and sexuality, your creativity is trying to awaken, and this can be a scary process, but ultimately you need to trust that wisdom to allow that transformation to take place. Okay, and so the lower realm, which is an upright card, I'll read the essence. The lower world holds the hidden treasures of humanity. It is a place of rich and fruitful darkness where we can find the disowned parts of ourselves and the abandoned parts of our psyches. The lower world is the place of our ancestors, where we discover the gifts and lessons from the past. It is the realm of the collective unconscious. I said that. Here we can, I love when the cards and the guidebooks confirm what I'm saying. It makes me feel so good. Here we can meet our demons and transform them into pure energy, our source of personal power. Okay, and so the invitation. It is time to unearth your hidden treasures. Do not make yourself small in order for others to like or accept you. Bring out the gems and precious stones that you have kept inside your heart, hidden even from yourself. It's time to honor your past and recast your life as a heroic quest. As you journey into the lower world, you will be offered all the gifts of your ancestors. Their struggles, the way they hurt, the way they lived, and the way they died will become blessings. I don't even feel like I need to say anything else about that. I mean, that was pretty cut and dry there. Half the journey to get to the stuff, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. And so are you. Okay, and the final card, Thunder, the essence. Legends speak of great thunder beings who live in the sky and call for your attention when great occurrences are meant to happen in the world. They warn when tensions in a situation are called upon to be released. Their presence in your reading reminds you of the dramatic moments in life that change everything. Both awesome and frightening when thunder arrives, it is also a wake-up call, one that you will not soon forget. The invitation. When thunder comes into your reading, it refers to a big dramatic change that feels like a herd of wild bison on the run. You feel it right through your bones, and you know that you are powerless to influence whatever events have been set in motion. This is a time to be prepared for anything. Your life is an adventure, and wonderful opportunities are arriving now. The trick is to learn to run with them. Qualities that you'll need now more than ever are flexibility, dexterity, and a willingness to experience it all without dictating from where or in what form opportunities will come. Your destiny is arriving. Be ready. Okay, so the other part about doing all of this, again, timeless reading, if you're watching this, this is for you. Something is coming, baby. And, it's not to say that you can miss out. I feel like there are certain opportunities that maybe won't ever come back around again. And then for other things, I feel like you have to be in a position where you can receive that. I feel like if you're not in a position to receive it, then the lesson just repeats itself and then you're asked again. I think for some of you, this may be some once in a lifetime shit. I think for others of you, this is, at whatever level you are at type of thing. And so if you miss it this time, you may have to wait a really long time before that opportunity circles back around again. Some things work a little differently. They come a little faster. But again, I think for some of you, this is some once in a lifetime shit that the universe is trying to prepare you to receive, to be ready for. And I mean, let's face it, it's 2020. Any fucking thing can happen, baby. Then you have these outer planets, astrologically, the outer planets, which move very slow, which only change sign maybe once every 30, 40 plus 50 plus years. This shit is all moving now. This is actually Neptune right here. And, that's not really, I'm not going to say it's not relevant to the reading. I just put it here because I thought it was cool. But, to talk about the slower moving planets, this is one of them. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. These are planets, celestial bodies that change sign like once every 50, 60, 70 years. And a lot of those are moving now. So, this is ultimately setting the stage for the next era in humanity. Do you really want to be waiting 56, 60, 75 years for your next opportunity? I mean, personally, not me. I am, I'm not going to tell my age. But let's just say I'll be at death's door by the time another 50, 60 years rolls around. So, you know what I'm saying? It's time to get it now. It's time to get in position now. I think maybe that's all I want to say about that. I'm going to pull some more cards for you watching this. Just to kind of give you some insight and some guidance on where to go with this. I'm going to use my Soul's Journey deck to do that for you right now. Go and shuffle it up real good. And I also pull from the Power Animal Oracle cards. I'm trying not to make this video too long because I want to transfer it over to my computer so I can edit it. And it just takes forever. I don't want to just slap it up on YouTube as it is, even though that's probably the easier thing to do. Okay. Okay. Freedom. I will possess. Okay, let me turn this around for you. It says, I will possess. Sorry, that's not what it says. It says, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. So, again, we were talking about this earlier, personal power. This is you taking the resources that you have, okay, and doing with them what you need to do. In this case, it is your personal power that is the resource. It is you. You know, that is what you have access to, no matter what situation you are finding yourself in your life. You have access to what you need to create your own happiness, the power that is within you, the freedom that is within you to do so. Okay, and Animal Oracle card for the final bit here. Okay. I don't like it when the shuffle fails. Oh, I just do it again. Okay, Animal Oracle, what you got for us? For my people that are watching now. Dang, I forgot to do my like, share, subscribe bit. I really don't be on that. You know, I want y'all to subscribe. I want y'all to like the video. I want you to share it, of course. Okay, let me give this a toss. What Animal Oracle guide message do you have for us today? Yeah, it's probably going to be that card. I keep seeing it. I'm going to let you know. I will let you know if it's that card. Okay. I'm going to piece up the deck. Okay, it was not the card that I kept seeing. Okay, so the card, I hope you can see this. The card is links. Keyword is discernment. Look beyond immediate appearances. Ooh, okay. I think that's interesting because of the journey that's being needed here. You know, this is definitely a place where there can be a lot of illusion. Popular term today of fake news. You know what I'm saying? You've got to be in touch with the inner knowing so you can know what is bullshit and what isn't. If you find yourself, and this kind of goes back to this other part here where, you know, you may be feeling disconnected and all that. You have to be able to look beyond that feeling to get to the truth, which is the fact that you actually aren't. That the things that you need access to are always already within your reach. You know, that's one part of it. Then the other thing is maybe you know what this is. And you think that this big thing that you're praying for or wanting or putting your intention out into the universe for, you think that this isn't coming. But again, here, the admonition of this card is that you need to look beyond what it immediately appears to be and understand and know that, in fact, it is coming, that you are at the brink of it, that you have access to what you need to be able to do those things. Okay, thank you so much for letting me read you for filth here. I really appreciate you watching the video. If you have watched it this far, please do not forget to subscribe. Please share. Please, please, please like my video. Please leave me a comment about how it resonated with you, what worked for you, what didn't work for you, any questions, comments, suggestions. If you need a personal reading, holla at me on social media. You can find me on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I just got a TikTok. So I am trying to do the damn thing. I'm actually on Discord, even though I don't use that a lot, but we are there as well. And I also be writing too. So follow me, follow me, follow me. Thank you so much, and peace out.